A car, abandoned on the side of the Pacific Coast Highway. Keys in the ignition, engine running, doors unlocked. Inside, a cell phone, a laptop, and cash. Everything you'd expect to find. But the driver, 20-year-old Elaine Park, was gone. She vanished without a trace, leaving behind a mystery that continues to haunt her family and baffle investigators to this day. How does someone just disappear? Elaine Park was born on September 24, 1996. Raised by her mother, Susan, in La Crescenta, California. Elaine was a creative and vibrant young woman. Her friends and family remember her as someone whose smile could light up a room. She was kind, intelligent, and full of energy. Elaine loved dance, fashion, and musical theater. She was actively pursuing a career in Hollywood, landing small roles in films like Crazy, Stupid, Love, and appearing on popular TV shows such as ER and Desperate Housewives. She had a bright future ahead of her and a wide circle of friends who adored her. Nothing about Elaine's life suggested she wanted to disappear. The story of her disappearance begins on the night of January 27, 2017. Elaine left her mother's house to meet her on-again, off-again ex-boyfriend, Huya Lelkol Defy, at his parents' home in Calabasas. The two went to a nearby movie theater and returned to his house just before 1 in the morning. According to Divine, the night took a strange turn. He claimed that around 4 a.m., Elaine woke up suddenly, experiencing a severe panic attack. He said he tried to calm her down and urged her to stay until morning, but she was adamant about leaving. The last confirmed sighting of Elaine Park was captured by a security camera at 6:05 a.m. The footage shows her walking out of the house and toward her dark gray Honda Civic, which was parked inside the gated community. The image is grainy and unclear, making it impossible for investigators to definitively confirm who got into the car. Just over an hour later, at 7:15 a.m., another camera recorded the same Honda Civic exiting the community gates. After that, the car and Elaine seemingly vanished. 4 or 5 days, there was silence. Then, on February 2nd, 2017, a discovery was made that turned a missing person case into a deeply suspicious mystery. Elaine's Honda was found abandoned on the shoulder of the Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu. The location was striking, right across from the Malibu Beach RV park, with the vast Pacific Ocean just steps away. The scene inside the car was even more unsettling. The doors were unlocked, the keys were still in the ignition, and the car battery was dead, suggesting the engine had been left running for a long time. Inside the vehicle, police found all of Elaine's essential belongings: her iPhone 7, a broken iPhone 6, her laptop, her driver's license, makeup, a backpack, a duffel bag, and around $37 in cash. It was as if she had just stepped out for a moment and planned to come right back. But she never did. A Glendale police sergeant at the time described the situation as highly suspicious. However, due to the lack of any clear evidence pointing one way or another, they couldn't rule foul play in or out. The discovery of the car triggered a massive search and rescue operation. Authorities scoured the rugged coastline, the nearby Malibu beaches, and the vast Santa Monica Mountains. Drones flew overhead, and search dogs combed through Coral Canyon and the Angeles National Forest. But their efforts yielded nothing. A few pieces of clothing were found scattered in the area, but none could be definitively linked to Elaine. With no body and no clues, the search was eventually scaled back. From the beginning, one theory was pushed forward by investigators, that Elaine, in a state of distress, had walked into the ocean and taken her own life. Her mother, Susan Park, fiercely rejected this idea. She acknowledged that Elaine had dealt with anxiety and depression in the past, like many young adults, but she insisted that Elaine was not suicidal. She had plans for the future, a career she was excited about, and a loving family. Her behavior in the days leading up to her disappearance showed no signs of someone planning to end their life. The family's frustration grew as they felt the investigation was being mishandled from the start. Perhaps the most shocking detail was the handling of Elaine's personal items found in the car. Her phone, her laptop, critical pieces of potential evidence were returned to her family without being properly tested for DNA or fingerprints. This oversight may have destroyed any chance of finding crucial clues that could have pointed toward what happened to Elaine. Jurisdictional confusion also plagued the case. The initial investigation was handled by the Lost Hills Sheriff Station, as the car was found in Malibu. Later, the Glendale Police Department took over, because Elaine was a resident of their city. This transfer led to significant delays. Shockingly, a detailed search of the area around Devine's home, where Elaine was last seen, wasn't conducted for months. By then, any potential evidence could have been long gone, washed away by rain or time. The family, desperate for answers, hired a private investigator who stated his conclusion unequivocally. Elaine was not suicidal. She was not a runaway. He believed she was an involuntary missing person, meaning she had met with foul play. At a press conference, a heartbroken Susan Park asked the question that still echoes today. How can someone just disappear without a trace? In a determined effort to find answers, Susan offered a $500,000 reward for any information that would lead to her daughter's whereabouts. But even that staggering amount yielded no solid leads, and the reward eventually expired. For years, the case grew cold. But the family never gave up hope. They started the Help Find Elaine Park social media page to keep her story alive and continue spreading awareness. Then, in 2021, the case received a surge of new attention when it was featured on the popular true crime podcast, To Live and Die in LA. The podcast delved deep into the timeline, the evidence, and the many unanswered questions, bringing Elaine's story to a new generation of listeners and reigniting the public's interest. So, what really happened to Elaine Park? Did she succumb to a moment of despair and walk into the sea, as some investigators initially suggested? Was she the victim of a random abduction on that lonely stretch of highway? Or does the truth lie closer to where she was last seen, with people she knew? The lack of evidence leaves every possibility on the table. The grainy surveillance footage, the mishandled evidence, the jurisdictional delays all have contributed to a thick fog of uncertainty that surrounds this case. Years have passed since Elaine Park vanished, but the questions remain as pressing as ever. Her family continues their search, holding on to hope that one day they will find out what happened to their beloved daughter. Elaine's story is a tragic reminder that sometimes people can just disappear, leaving behind nothing but a void and a lifetime of questions. And somewhere out there, the truth about what happened to Elaine Park is still waiting to be discovered. Thank you for watching. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Elaine Park, please contact the Glendale Police Department. Don't forget to follow 4 more stories like this.